Satnam, offering a bit of a discussion and a general reading. And as always, take what resonates within you. Let this be a starting point to expand your own awareness and continue your own research. So this comes from my research, experience, and discussions I've had. Please take what I say lightly and explore what feels a fit for you. So the topic on the table is gaslighting. Gaslighting and susceptibility, and not to cast blame on a victim, rather highlight the opportunity to heal and grow past the patterns of the past. And so what is gaslighting? I used to only think of gaslighting as that moment when someone would throw their words back at you. When you call someone on their shit and they turn around and flip it. But really extends beyond that, all this manipulative behavior. And I think one good example of it, if you need to see it, is the 1940s version of gaslight. And this version is different from the 1944 MGM version that's got a little bit more drama to it. This version shows how a husband hid things from his wife, how he twisted her words, how he manipulated situations and even flirted in front of her, all the while making her believe she was the crazy one. So take a look at that. I'll put the link below. And we can gas someone up and we can gas someone down. And unfortunately, a lot of people will gas someone up just to break them down. Ideally, we build someone up to light the torch so that they can shine their way. And it's not about for personal gain, rather for the greater good of all. Well, again, we don't know what we don't know. We can be naive and susceptible to someone else's words, behaviors, and actions when they don't have the pure intentions that we might assume that they have. Another context that's important to consider is power play. Is there a power dynamics in the relationship? Think about a husband and wife. If the husband's the breadwinner and the wife stays at home with the kids, there's a power dynamics. Money is power, right? If you're in the workplace, employer to employee, there's a power dynamics. And sometimes we like to cast the blame onto someone else. Who's going to take the heat? Who's going to take the rap for this? Who's going to do the work? There's power at play there. Also binding cycles, and this goes to we don't know what we don't know. If there's been abuse, the bar is low. If there's abuse and trauma, the bar is low, right? If there's been neglect, that means that if someone throws you a bone or breadcrumbs you think you've got a meal rather than be like, oh, I'm not taking that shit, right? You don't have the highest standards. And oppression. We like to think that there's no glass ceiling. We like to think that there is not a gender wage gap, but it's there. And so taking into consideration the bigger picture of how we fit into a situation and how we might be blinded to our own truth and reality of what's coming our way. And I speak to discernment a lot. I pretty much say this, type it into all the IGT videos. Use your own discernment, But really, inner and outer can be blurred. Again, we don't always know what we don't know. And so taking that moment to take that checkpoint to assess what is my energy, what is my truth versus theirs. So what is your inner knowing outside of the outer influences? And can you take stock of the outer influences you've had and what's happening right now to start to level the playing field and see things clearly? I think the biggest thing we could do is know who you are. Who are you? Pieces are kind of like this new beginning. They're this yes, but on the flip side of a quick yes or a one-night stand, you've got this emperor energy, and what do you want to see through for you? No one human being is the end-all be-all for you. You have to be that for yourself, and then you attract a new frequency that then it's not the conversations you have with that person and the messages you receive come in a different frequency than you might have experienced in the past. It's just everything's groundbreaking, and you have to make that choice to level up. Six of Wands is the next bottom deck energy, which is your victory. And the High Priestess is under there. So two High Priestesses. So learning what your intuition is telling you, learning how spirit is communicating with you with signs and synchronicities, learning what your patterns are to break free of them, and being aware that some of those are superimposed from childhood, neglect, abuse, and the way that society functions. And it's time to reinvent what we accept as a norm and grow free. Well, I think that's it for now. Anything else? Be willing to own your patterns and redirect. And that's the place you'll come from in common ground and find the love that you need to see yourself through in the light. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Setting up.